Hi friends, you're just in time. I need help with a recipe. You know, recipes tell us how to cook yummy food. Tells us what to put in the bowl and how to mix it up. This recipe is how to make pancakes. And the first thing that we need is flour. And I don't know how many cups of flour to put in my recipe. Can you help me? I know you're good counters. I bet you can help me. Here we go. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. So we need 3 cups of flour. So we'll put that down. The next thing to make pancakes, we need eggs. Let's count how many eggs we need. 1, 2. We need 2 eggs, don't we? The last thing we need to make pancakes is milk. And how many cups of milk do we need in our recipe, boys and girls? Just 1 cup of milk. So to make pancakes, our recipe calls for 3 cups of flour, 2 eggs, and 1 cup of milk. Thank you for helping. You're good counters, aren't you? Now I can make pancakes. Recipes are important because they let us know what to do when we're making something yummy. That reminds me of a Bible story. It reminds me of a special book that helps people know what God wants us to do. Do you know what book that might be? Take a guess. You're right, the Bible. We can read the Bible and we can know what to do. I know a Bible story about a king who learned what God wanted him to do. Would you like to hear it? We open our Bible, and here's our story for today. Josiah was 8 years old when he became king. He did what was right in the Lord's sight. Whoa! Did you hear that? Josiah was only 8 years old. That was very young to be a king, wasn't it? When he became king, he wasn't much older than you are. King Josiah loved God, and he obeyed God. When King Josiah grew up, he had workers to repair the temple. Remember, the temple is like a church. It's where people go to worship God. Carpenters and builders worked to fix the temple. As they worked, a man named Hilkiah found a lost Bible scroll. One of the king's helpers took the lost scroll to King Josiah and read it to him. When the king heard the words, he was very sad. The scroll said, "Obey God." And the people and the king were not obeying God. Josiah called all the people together, and he read them the scroll. King Josiah made a promise to do all the things that God wanted him to do. All the people agreed. They promised to obey God too. King Josiah knew that the words in the Bible scroll were from God. He and all the people wanted to do what was right. The Bible helps us know what God wants us to do. Aren't you glad that God gave us the Bible? I am. I want to read my Bible every day, and I want to do what it says. That's what God wants me to do too. Boys and girls, do you remember how old Josiah was when he became king? Tell me your guess. That's right. He was only 8 years old when he became king. Even though Josiah was very young, he did what was right. And he obeyed God's words. Every person should obey God. The Bible tells us about Jesus, and we can learn from the things that Jesus said and Jesus did. Our May Bible stories have been about the Bible is a special book. Our first story was about God gave the commandments. And remember, what's another word for commandments? Rules. That's right. Our second story was about Jeremiah wrote God's words. And remember, the bad king didn't like what the scroll said, and he cut up the scroll and threw it into a fire. That was not nice. And today's story was about Josiah, who was a very young king, and he learned from a lost scroll. Thanks again for helping me with the pancake recipe. Be sure and come back next time. I'll be waiting for you. Take care. Bye-bye.